For solo, I'd highly recommend Ether Shroud and Stun Grenades, and for Gobblegums, either Perkaholic or Aftertaste, Shields Up, and Raindrops are an absolute must if you want to beat the boss. The Major Augment Equivalent Exchange for Quick Revive is also an absolute must. Spawn in and follow the basic procedure for Pack Punch by going into this room, meleeing this part on the floor, grabbing Ted's head, and building it into the truck. Then you're going to want to go to Blackwater Lake and turn on the power generator. Shoot all of the spores, and once that is done, go to the top floor and turn on the switch. Now at the bottom floor, you're going to want to pick up a jar of spores here, and at the shed back there, activate this trophy and pick up these tomahawks that you're going to be needing for later. Now you're going to want to go to Ashwood, the next area, turn on the power generator up top, activate the switch, go to the left and make sure you meet Klaus here, and then you're going to want to obviously go back into the garage and install the Pack Punch, go back to farm, turn on that generator by shooting the spores, then go into the barn and turn on the power switch, and just before you leave down here, throw a tomahawk at this zombie's right foot. Then go to the crafting table just in the barn, grab a Molotov, throw it, and you will have some human bones. Now, once you've done that, place the jar of spores at this horse outside of the farm and pick it up 3 rounds later for fungi. Go back from Blackwater Lake back to the spawn, and on round 8, after all the power's turned on, this Uber Klaus should spawn. Take him out and he will drop a stabilizer chip. Now go back to Ashwood and put that panel on the wall, and once it says its update requires restart, throw 3 to 4 stuns, and this will activate Klaus. Now once Klaus is activated, you're going to want to go to the Zarya Cosmodrome or the Ascension area, open up this door, and then bring him down to the bottom here, and then Klaus will initiate a lockdown. Once he's stomped, you have to activate it, and then stand in this red circle for 60 seconds. I highly recommend like a ray gun here. This will help you for the rest of the Easter egg. Then once that 60 seconds is done, a canister will drop, and you need to bring it all the way to a couple different areas. You cannot run though while you're using this, so bring it to the diner, wait around in here, and then take out a zombie. He will drop a key, a freezer key. The zombie's name is the Cook, and then go to this locker, open it up, and he will have an abomination carcass for you to install at Ashwood for the front of your car. And this is very important because we're going to be needing this later. Make sure you also have the canister here, and bring the canister up to the power generator at Ashwood, wait it and install it, wait a couple seconds, and then you're going to need to bring it to the Blackwater Lake power generator. Bring it through, make sure you're using your truck to get there fast, wait a second, once it's done, pick it up, and then go towards the farm area. Now this is where you're going to be getting the wonder weapon. You can also get the fungi here if you've waited 3 rounds. Place it in the power generator, wait a couple of seconds, then once it's full, you're going to want to go to the farm basement and place it inside of the cube, and then this will allow you to get the wonder weapon. But first you need to do a code step where you need to take the launcher from farm to the spawn, and you should see 3 symbols on the top of the barn house, the regular house, and then the shed. Memorize each of these 3 symbols, and once you have figured them out, go back down to the cube, input all 3 on each of the 3 sides, and once that is done, activate the eye on the opposite side, and then you will be able to get the wonder weapon. You don't really need a bullet weapon at this point in the Easter egg, so I'd highly recommend the gauntlet and the ray gun. Then once you get it, you'll be in a little bit of a lockdown. Shoot each of the green spores and reload to get rid of them. And once you have shot all of them, then you'll be able to leave. Wait for a max ammo round, and then you're going to want to activate any of the traps around the map on a Ravager so that he drops his eyes. This is a very important part for later on. And then the next step, you're going to want to go back to Ashwood next to Vulture Aid and get Wisp Tea to proc and buy it, obviously, and then it should fly into this mirror. Use the wonder weapon, shoot it, reload, and then the Powder of the Forgotten is another item you'll need. Now, around the map, there's going to be purple pods. Use your new beam attack to break the purple pods, and you're going to get another item that you're going to need. And then the last item, you're going to have to wait until round 16 for a Xursa bear to spawn. Shoot it a couple times, and then you're going to want to kill it with the beam on the truck, and you will drop your last heart, being the mysterious limb. Now, take all 6 of these parts and bring them to the Zarya Cosmodrome at this area, and then activate this powder, and then it should give you a 3-word code that's decipherable in a pig pen cipher. Now, these are either talus, conch, fungi, oculi, or limbs. You can see here, if you understand the code on the left side, mine was fungi, oculi, and limbs, and then obviously from left to right, it's talus, conch, fungi, oculi, and limbs, and make sure you input the correct one out of your 3-digit code that's written on the wall. And then the last ingredient you're going to have to add is your blood, and you're in a tiny bit of a lockdown where you have very low HP, so all the zombies come out of each of these spots, so make sure you watch watch these spots. They can come from the rafters too. They won't come from the red barrier areas, but just make sure you're killing all of them. Use Ether Shroud if you have to. And once the map goes super gassy, then you have beaten this step. The next step, you're going to have to find 3 keys. The first key is just outside of the Rocket Cosmodrome area. You can see a light green glow right there where I pinged. Use your wonder weapon, shoot it, and then reload, and it should be brought down there. Now, if your key is not there, I've got 2 other spots for you, but pick up the key, and it will only allow you to use your melee weapon. Go back into the truck, go back to Ashwood, and over here, there's going to be a diamond. Activate it, and it'll break one of the chains. Now, if you didn't find yours in that spot, there's another spot right here, just outside of Ashwood towards the Cosmodrome, and then one on this pylon right there. Now, the next one, you're going to need to go towards Farm from Ashwood. There's going to be a spot for another key right on the top part here, or inside of this blue container. If it's not there, mine was actually in the bottom area, and this one will not allow you to really be fast, so make sure that the truck is nearby. Pick it up. You can use Ether Shroud to just avoid all these crazy zombies. Go back into the truck, and then obviously go back to the diamond at Ashwood and place it in there. Now, the last one is towards the diner from Ashwood, and there's 3 spots again. The first one is in this dino mouth here. The second spot is on the opposite side near the diner at the back of this truck here. Again, use your wonder weapon and reload. And then my spot was actually on the top of this rock here in the middle at the back side of this dino. Shoot it, reload at the back right side, and you should get another key. Now, this key will not allow you to regenerate health, so be very careful. I was clutching at like 16 HP here. Bring that key back to Ashwood. You'll get a cutscene. Pick up the turret barrel, install it onto the old Tessie. And now you're going to need to shoot this clock just above Ashwood here. And then once you shoot it, it's going to start chiming. Use your gauntlet and then reload. If it doesn't turn purple, just go to an opposite side until it does. And now you can start up a new Cosmodrome step. Go back to the Cosmodrome with the Tessie. Shoot this little spinner here. And then you can just take the jumper to go right on back and then shoot the clock again and reload until it's purple. Again, if you've swapped the rounds, you're going to need to use the turret. Use the teleport pad to go back to the truck and then shoot the second spinner here, and you're going to get another Pigpen Cipher 6-letter word here. Now go back behind Wisp T, and you can see that it's either going to be one of 4 words. Read both of the letters that spawn in on the monitors here. It's either going to be weapon, launch, or rocket, spelled in 2 letters at a time. Now you're going to have to shoot the big red button on the bottom right of each of these TVs, and if you do this wrong, you'll have to reshoot the spinners and wait another round. My code here was rocket, so it was 17 14 2 10 4 19. And then once you have done that, then you should see a rocket launch as you have completed each of this step, and then now you're on to the next 3 areas for this. Go back obviously to Ashwood, shoot the top clock tower with your DG4 sort of turret, and then once you have done that, grab your Necrofluid Gauntlet, shoot it, reload it, and it should turn purple. Again, if it doesn't, just go to another side and it should. Now you're going to want to go to the diner. It's going to start lightning every 2 rounds. Shoot this clock and make sure you have the Tessie here and ram the Tessie into the back of this truck, and this zombie will have a new soul into it. Now jump up top to where the jumper is and bring him towards the pink lightning. Now you're going to want to go quickly because you only have 60 seconds. Melee this cashier with melee macchiato to spawn in this waitress. Jump to the top of the diner really quickly and bring that waitress towards this purple lightning. Now for solo, the most you can really do is 2 out of the 3 lightnings for the step, so you're going to have to wait 2 more rounds obviously to continue the step. Go back to Ashwood, shoot the top part with the DG2 barrel, use your gauntlet to get it purple. Go back to diner and spawn in Klaus, and make sure you wait to see him on the bottom right until you start this step. Bring him towards the garage area here, and then once you can see him, shoot the clock again with your purple Necrofluid Gauntlet, and then once this is done, bring him towards this zombie, and then Klaus should stomp, and then he should revive this zombie and bring him back to life. Then just bring this zombie back towards the top area, towards this orange lightning above that same building you were in, and you have completed this step. Now the next 2 spots, again, go back to Ashwood and shoot the clock tower, and now you're going to need to go to farm, and behind this guy there's going to be a clock. Make note of the hour hand, and mine was 12, so I stood behind this guy here. If it's 3 o'clock, it's going to be the left here. If it's going to be 9 o'clock, it's going to be the right, and if it's 6 o'clock, it's on the opposite side. Once you're in the right spot, his head should turn and his eyes should glow red. Shoot his skull, and then you need to find 4 parts. The first part is by stamina up. The second part is by the mystery box location here. The third part is next to Death Perception there, and then the last part is beyond the cube at the bathtub. Once you have all 4 of them, put them all in these red 4 ritual spots, and then you're going to want to make sure that you're activating the ritual by clicking on the last one again. And then once the ritual has started, activate the saw trap. You're going to get a bunch of zombies, so use your ray gun, shoot the Necrofluid Gauntlet, throw some Molotovs, use your Ether Shroud. You have to make sure that they don't get hit for about 60 seconds, and then once you have done that, you've completed that. Again, go back to Ashwood, shoot the DG2 turret barrel, and then make sure your Necrofluid Gauntlet is purple, and then grab this blue entity at the back of Blackwater Lake and go towards the projector and shoot the projector. Now, you're going to get 4 areas. This first area for me was front. This second area for me was shed. It's going to be in a different order for you. This third area is back, and then boathouse. Now, for my code and my order, this first one is front. It will always be in the same spot. This second one was the shed. The third one here is at the back behind the ammo box, and then the last one is at the boathouse. Make sure they're purple also when you shoot them. And once you have done this correctly, you're going to want to go back up towards Speed Cola, and if it's all red here, you've done it correctly. Activate Klaus here at the back here. Bring Klaus towards the top, and then you are ready to now get into the boss fight. Once you hold interact onto Klaus, you're going to start the boss fight. Get ready to get your boss fight gobblegums like Aftertaste, Perkaholic. Grab the hand cannon as a kill streak and decoys, and keep the Molotovs. Upgrade your ray gun fully, and you are now ready to start up the boss. Now, you're going to need to wait a bit at Klaus here and just wait until his dialogue is done. Once this dialogue is done, you're going to need to run into 3 different entity wisps at each of the intersections. So the first one is from Blackwater Lake back to spawn. You can see here that I'm running into the exact 3 right there. Just follow my exact gameplay. The next one is from spawn all the way to farm. Make sure you're running into all 3 or you're going to have to redo this step. The next one is from farm to Ashwood. They're all on top of the terminus ship, and then from Ashwood back to Blackwater Lake. Once that is done, you are now into the boss fight, and the boss fight is really all in your Tessie. So you're going to want to ram into him right here and avoid all of the red circle damage. And again, he's going to have a red head, the boss, and so you're going to want to shoot the red head with your Wonderwalk turret or just ram into him. It'll do a lot of damage. Make sure you're staying in your vehicle because he will do a lot of damage. Make sure you can see those power-ups that you can see with the Necrofluid Gauntlet out of reach, and then grab them. Run into the green pods, obviously, to repair your vehicle. And once you have done enough damage, the boss should be rotating like this. You're going to need to ram into him, and then he will spawn a little immortality, little beam. Grab that little power-up light that he dropped, and then ram into him again. And then he will show you a crit point at the bottom of the boss at the yellow part. Go towards the turret and then shoot him here. You're going to want to learn how to swap fast in your seats. Make sure you grab the max armor and make sure you're always constantly running. If you down and you have aftertaste, make sure you use your self-revive first, or else you will have no perks later on with equivalent exchange. Continue ramming him and avoiding all the red spots. Shoot his red spot though, and then once that is done, obviously you're going to have times where the vehicle gets destroyed, so run away from the red orbs, and then try and obviously throw decoys to repair the old Tessie or use Ether Shroud. Again, he'll start spinning. Ram into him, get the immortality, do it again, ram into him, and then shoot the yellow spot at the bottom here. And then once this is done, he will now have a third phase where he charges up. You need to ram into him, or else if you miss your opportunity, hide behind this little ledge here by dolphin diving into it, or just by hiding behind the columns. Once you have done that though, again, the immortality phase will happen. Ram into him, use your hand cannon, and you have beaten Ashes of the Damned.